You don't self-sabotage, you self-soothe, because you're not lazy. You just got used to calming your discomfort and them horrible feelings in the wrong way. So let me say something that might piss you off, or it might actually finally make things click into place. So listen up. You don't self-sabotage because you're weak, and you don't procrastinate because you're lazy, and you don't even drift because you lack discipline. You're just self-sabotaging because you're trying to feel better. And that's the part that nobody wants to admit. Because self-sabotage sounds so dramatic. It sounds like some kind of mad failure. It sounds like you're broken. But what you're actually doing is self-soothing, but badly. And until you understand that, and I mean truly understand it, you're just going to keep fighting the wrong enemy, because the enemy is actually in here, not out there. So let's talk about the moment that you never post about or you never talk about. It's not about the big collapse or the rock bottom moment, because those obvious rock bottom moments give us things to talk about and think about. But in reality, it comes in those quiet moments. Tuesday night, nothing's wrong, work was fine, gym's optional and nobody's watching. And you sit down and you tell yourself that you'll get started after this. After the scroll, after the drink, after the takeaway, after the cigarette, after one more episode, after tomorrow. And you already know exactly how this ends. And it's not with disaster, but it's with disappointment. Again. But here's the truth that most men don't want to hear, and they don't like hearing it, but it helps. You're not avoiding action, you're avoiding discomfort. And it's the discomfort of starting something that you might not be able to finish. Facing the gap between who you are and who you know that you could be. Feeling mentally restless without numbing it. Sitting alone with your thoughts in your own head. So you soothe yourself. You calm the noise. And you just call it relaxing. Because your brain isn't even trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to protect you from yourself, from those negative feelings that come up. And do you want to know what? That's the most uncomfortable part, because your nervous system does not care about your potential. It does not care about your future. And it definitely does not care about your goals, all these amazing goals that you keep setting. It cares about reducing discomfort right now in this moment. So when something feels overwhelming, uncertain, emotionally uncomfortable, your brain reaches for what it knows works. Fast relief. My favourite one that I used to reach for was drugs and alcohol. So let's name this properly. When you scroll social media, drink or do drugs to take the edge off. Binge Netflix, order junk food. Doom scroll, social media, avoid gym, avoid the journaling, avoid the sales calls. You're not failing, you're just regulating your own nervous system, but in a bad way, with tools that steal tomorrow's momentum to pay for tonight's comfort. Let that one sink in. And this is where self-respect just quietly dies. And it's not in the big moments, but it's in repetition. Every time you soothe yourself, instead of build something, your body learns something real. That I don't trust this man. This man's word means fuck all. You don't lose confidence in one moment. You erode it slowly, bit by bit, because confidence isn't belief, it's evidence. And right now, your evidence says you avoid discomfort, you negotiate with yourself, you delay instead of decide, and you calm yourself instead of getting committed. And then your nervous system stops backing you because your word doesn't mean anything. That's why you feel flat. That's why motivation feels fake, and you've got this overwhelming feeling in your head and in your chest, because your body doesn't believe your words. It believes your patterns. So here's the part that no one ever explains properly, not these online gurus. You cannot stop self-soothing. You'll always have to have ways to self-soothe. But the question is how? Is it empowering or disempowering? You either soothe in ways that reduce anxiety or kill momentum long term. Or you soothe in ways that feel mildly uncomfortable, build trust, calm and confidence over time. So this is why just telling yourself to just be disciplined and stay locked in never works, because you're fighting biology with willpower, and that's a losing game. It's always been a losing game, and it'll always be one. So let me make this painfully simple. You don't need more discipline. You need some better soothing systems that calm your nervous system, that build momentum, that don't rely on motivation, that work on good days, bad days, and flat as a pancake days. Because the men who look disciplined aren't tougher or better people. They've just found better ways to regulate themselves. And this is why journaling saved my life. And I don't say that lightly, because there was a time when if things started to go well and I started to have a bit of good luck, I'd ruin them. Drugs, alcohol, arguments, burning bridges, chaos. Pardon me. Not because I hated my life, but because calm felt unfamiliar. Silence felt dangerous. And when I slowed down, everything I've been avoiding started to catch up. So I created noise, and I called it fun. I called it freedom. I called it living. But in reality, it was just self-soothing disguised as confidence. And it nearly destroyed me. It did destroy me multiple times. Because journaling didn't just magically make me positive. It made me honest. It gave my nervous system a place to unload. I can't stop sneezing without self-destructing. And training did the exact same thing. Meditation didn't make me calm. It made me less reactive. And reading didn't make me smarter. It just allowed me to slow my thinking down enough to make better decisions, as well as soaking up knowledge from the greats from different areas. These weren't habits, they were regulation tools to help me self-soothe myself. So here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking, how do I stop myself from self-sabotaging? And start asking myself, how do I make myself feel better in this moment without ruining my future? That's the real work, because the man who wins long term isn't just the most motivated. He's the one who can sit with the discomfort for long enough without panicking. So here's why successful men struggle with this more. Smart, successful men. Here's something that no one talks about. If your life looks like it's fine on paper, this problem will just get worse, because there's no urgency, no crisis, no rock bottom burning moment. So you just self-soothe quietly. You drift instead of completely collapsing. You numb yourself out instead of completely exploding. And you just tell yourself that you'll sort it out later. And then later turns to years. Years of drinking, wanking, junk food. So I apologise, keep sneezing. You don't hate your life. You hate the feeling of wasted potential. You hate knowing that you're capable of more and proving yourself otherwise every single day. And the longer this goes on, the heavier it starts to feel, because now it's not about your habits, it's about your self-identity. Let me say it again, it's not your habits, it's your self-identity. So if this video is landing uncomfortably and it's striking a chord with you, then good. It means you recognise a pattern, because I help successful men who've lost their momentum eliminate the self-sabotage and become unfuckwithable by building daily systems into their life that regulate their nervous system and rebuild the self-trust and build that momentum. So if you want the exact framework that I use with myself, for myself and with my private clients, click the link in the description and get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, or comment the word blueprint. So let's talk about the lie that you keep on telling yourself. I just need a break. No, you need containment. A break without structure just turns into drift, and drift always ends in shame, because you don't need less pressure. You need predictability, because your nervous system calms and stays calm when it knows what happens every day, what's non-negotiable, and what doesn't even require a decision anymore. That's why systems work. They remove that overwhelming choice that makes your head feel like it's going to explode off. The men who win don't feel better first. They act in ways that create safety within their own body. They train even when it's boring. They journal even when it's awkward, and meditate even when it feels restless, because that's where they need it the most. Not because they love it, because I don't really love meditating, but I know it fucking helps my life so much. It keeps me regulated. And a regulated man is dangerous in the best possible way. Calm, consistent, grounded, and unshakable. This is what I mean when I say become unfuckwithable. It doesn't mean being aggressive. It doesn't mean being emotionless. It doesn't mean grinding yourself into the dust. It means that you don't panic when life gets uncomfortable. You don't soothe yourself into stagnation. You don't abandon yourself when the pressure hits, because the pressure always hits for all of us. You got systems that catch you when the motivation disappears. And motivation always disappears. So before I go, let me reiterate, you're not broken. You're just soothing yourself with tools that keep you small. Change your tools and you'll change the trajectory. So if this felt like someone finally said the quiet part out loud that's been in your head, comment the word blueprint and I'll send you the free system I use myself and I give to all my private clients to end the self-sabotage, to rebuild their self-trust and create momentum that doesn't rely on motivation, because motivation's bullshit. The only thing that works is daily systems. So like I said, click the link in the description, get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, comment the word blueprint and I'll send it through. And if you really want that one-to-one help, book a power hour breakthrough call with me. One-to-one, we'll go deep. But don't keep pretending Like, you don't know what's wrong with your life. You know the habits that are fucking you up. Oh, just have a wank. Oh, just have another beer. Oh, just get on the bags. Oh, I'll have a junk food tonight because I deserve it. What about journaling, meditation, training, making sales calls that make you money, income generating activities? Swap these negative ones that ruin your life and ruin your experience of life, and swap them in for things that empower you and make you feel amazing. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. Let's fucking have it.